In the heart of the Bay of Bengal, a tragedy unfolded on the shores of a remote island. John Allen Chau, a young American missionary, sought to bring Christianity to the Sentinelese people of North Sentinel Island. His journey ended in his death, sparking a global debate about the ethics of contacting uncontacted tribes. North Sentinel Island had remained largely untouched by the modern world for centuries. This is the story of his journey, his death, and the ethical quandaries it raised. John Allen Chau was driven by a deep Christian faith that permeated every aspect of his life. Born in 1991, Chau grew up in a devout Christian household, where faith was not just a part of life, but the very foundation of it. From a young age, he felt a calling to missionary work, inspired by stories of missionaries who had ventured into unknown lands to spread the gospel.
My faith is everything to me. It guides my actions, my decisions, and my purpose in life.
Chau's missionary zeal led him to Oral Roberts University, a place known for nurturing young minds with a passion for spreading their faith. There, he excelled in linguistics and cross-cultural communication, skills that would prove invaluable in his future missions. After graduating, Chau embarked on mission trips to remote communities in South Africa, where he worked tirelessly to help those in need. His journey didn't stop there. He also traveled to Mexico and Iraq, each trip reinforcing his commitment to his faith and his mission.
Each mission trip reinforced my belief that I was meant to bring the gospel to those who had never heard it. It was my calling, my destiny.
His determination to contact the Sentinelese, an isolated tribe with no contact with the outside world, became his ultimate mission. This mission, however, raised concerns among his family and friends, who feared for his safety and questioned the wisdom of his plan. Some saw it as an act of unparalleled bravery, a testament to his unwavering faith and commitment, while others viewed it as recklessness, a dangerous endeavor that could have dire consequences. Despite the differing opinions, his unwavering belief in his mission propelled him forward, driven by a faith that knew no bounds. The Sentinelese, inhabitants of North Sentinel Island, are shrouded in mystery. For centuries, they have fiercely guarded their isolation. Believed to be direct descendants of early human migrants out of Africa, the Sentinelese have lived in near total isolation for an estimated 50,000 to 60,000 years. Their long isolation has allowed them to develop a unique culture and language. They thrive in their island environment, relying on hunting, gathering, and fishing. Their tools and weapons are primarily made from natural materials. The Sentinelese's isolation has protected them from diseases that have ravaged many indigenous populations. However, it has also made them incredibly vulnerable. This vulnerability is at the heart of the ethical debate surrounding contact with uncontacted tribes. North Sentinel Island has earned a reputation as a forbidden zone. The Indian government has declared the island and its surrounding waters a restricted zone. This policy aims to protect both the Sentinelese and those who might attempt to contact them. The dangers of contact with the Sentinelese are numerous and well documented. Their hostile stance towards outsiders and lack of immunity to common diseases make any interaction incredibly risky. The potential for transmitting diseases to the Sentinelese is a grave concern. The Indian government's policy of minimal intervention is rooted in a history of disastrous encounters between indigenous populations and outsiders. John Chau's journey to North Sentinel Island was a testament to his unwavering determination. His mission was not just a simple adventure. It was a deeply personal quest, driven by his faith and a desire to connect with one of the world's most isolated tribes.
Knowing the risks involved, I planned my trip meticulously. Every detail was considered, from the route I would take to the supplies I would need. I knew that any mistake could be fatal, so I left nothing to chance.
Chau's preparations were extensive. He wasn't just preparing for a physical journey, he was preparing mentally and spiritually as well. He read countless books, took detailed notes, and gathered all the necessary survival gear. He spent months studying the Sentinelese, researching their culture, language, and history. He wanted to understand them as much as possible before making contact, hoping this knowledge would help him communicate and build trust.
I learned basic survival skills, hoping to navigate the island's dense forests. I practiced building shelters, starting fires, and finding food in the wild. I wanted to be as self-sufficient as possible.
He packed his bags with gifts, believing these tokens of goodwill would pave the way for peaceful contact. The gifts included items he thought would be useful or interesting to the Sentinelese, such as tools, food, and small trinkets. To reach North Sentinel Island, Chow traveled to the Andaman Islands, posing as a tourist. He blended in with other travelers, careful not to draw attention to his true intentions. He hired us to take him near the island, violating the restricted zone. We knew it was dangerous, but he was determined and persuasive. He made multiple attempts to land on the island, each time met with hostility from the Sentinelese. Despite the danger, he remained undeterred, driven by his mission and his faith.
I knew the risks, but my faith and my belief in my mission outweighed my fear. I felt a calling to reach out to the Sentinelese, to share my message and learn from them. It was a journey of faith, courage, and unwavering determination.
John Chow's first face-to-face encounter with the Sentinelese unfolded with a mix of trepidation and excitement.
After multiple attempts, I finally managed to land on a beach.
As Chow ventured inland, he encountered a group of Sentinelese men.
I tried to appear non-threatening, offering gifts and calling out greetings.
The Sentinelese men reacted with hostility. They shouted at Chow in their own language,
shouting in Sentinelese.
They fired warning arrows, forcing him to retreat back to the beach.
Despite the hostile reception, I refused to give up. I retreated to the fisherman's boat, shaken but undeterred.
After his initial encounter, Chow retreated to the fisherman's boat, shaken but not defeated. The experience had rattled him, but his spirit remained unbroken. He knew the risks were high, yet his determination to reach the Sentinelese people was unwavering. The fear he felt was real, but so was his calling. We urged him to abandon his mission, but Chow remained resolute. We could see the fire in his eyes, a burning passion that couldn't be easily extinguished. Despite our pleas and the evident danger, he was steadfast in his belief that he was meant to bring a message of hope to the island.
I believed I was meant to return to the island. It was more than just a mission. It was a calling that I felt deep within my soul. The island beckoned me, and I knew I had to answer, no matter the cost.
The next morning, driven by his unwavering faith, Chow decided to try again. The dawn brought a renewed sense of purpose. He spent time in prayer, seeking strength and guidance for the journey ahead. His resolve was stronger than ever. He paddled back to the island alone in a kayak, carrying more gifts. These gifts were carefully chosen, meant to show goodwill and foster a connection. Each paddle stroke was a testament to his courage and commitment.
I left the fishermen with instructions, asking them to return for my journal if I didn't return. My journal was my way of documenting this journey, my thoughts, and my prayers. It was important that my story be told, no matter the outcome.
Landing on a different part of the island, Chow ventured inland once more. This time, he was more cautious, aware of the potential dangers that lay ahead. The dense forest was both a barrier and a path to his goal. He encountered a group of Sentinelese children who reacted with curiosity. Their innocent eyes followed his every move, a stark contrast to the hostility he had faced before. It was a small but significant moment of connection.
I sang songs hoping to establish a connection through music. Music is a universal language, and I hoped it would bridge the gap between us. Each note was a plea for understanding and peace.
As more Sentinelese adults appeared, the atmosphere shifted, and Chow decided to retreat. The tension was palpable, and he knew it was time to leave. His mission was far from over, but for now, he had to regroup and plan his next move. John Chow's final moments on North Sentinel Island were a blur of panic and fear. The Sentinelese, their patience exhausted, made it clear that he was not welcome. As Chow reached the shore, he was met with a volley of arrows. The fishermen, watching from a distance, saw Chow fall to his knees. They fled the scene, carrying with them the chilling memory of Chow's final moments. They reported the incident to the authorities, sparking a media frenzy. Indian authorities launched an investigation, but faced significant challenges in recovering his body. The Sentinelese continued to guard the beach where Chow had been killed. Authorities made the difficult decision to abandon the recovery mission, respecting the Sentinelese's right to remain undisturbed. John Chow's death ignited a global debate about the ethics of contacting uncontacted tribes.
Chow's actions were met with condemnation from many quarters. Critics argued that his mission was reckless and disrespectful to the Sentinelese.
Others defended Chow, praising his courage and conviction. They argued that he was motivated by a genuine desire to help the Sentinelese. The debate raised broader questions about how we should interact with uncontacted tribes. It highlighted the need for a nuanced approach that respects their autonomy. The story of John Chow and the Sentinelese underscores the profound challenges of communicating across vast cultural divides.
Language presents a formidable obstacle. The Sentinelese language remains unstudied, making meaningful dialogue impossible.
Beyond language, cultural differences create significant barriers. The Sentinelese way of life and their understanding of the world are vastly different from ours.
Attempts to bridge this cultural divide require sensitivity and respect for the Sentinelese's way of life. It involves recognizing that our ways of thinking are not universal.
The tragic death of John Chow serves as a reminder of the importance of respecting the isolation of uncontacted tribes.
The Indian government's policy of minimal intervention reflects an understanding of the risks of contact.
Instead of seeking contact, we should focus on protecting these isolated tribes. This includes enforcing no-go zones and preventing illegal activities in their territories.
The Sentinelese offer a glimpse into a way of life that has vanished from most of the planet. They are a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. It is our moral obligation to ensure their survival and protect their right to exist on their own terms.